Hi everybody, welcome to Oxford News This Week. I'm Terry Stiles, sitting beside Alexis Ware again this week.
Yep, it's almost become a regular.
Oh, it's okay with me.
Hi everyone, this week the Oxford Chamber held a State of Community Zoom and the marijuana ordinance is still in limbo.
All that and more, the Oxford News begins right now. Last week, Oxford Township Treasurer Joe Ferrari announced that due to the change in the Michigan state law regarding hardship or property tax exemption requests, the Charter Township of Oxford will not be hearing any of these types of appeals at its March Board of Review meeting. Ferrari said these types of petitions may be heard in July and or December at their Board of Review sessions. If you have any further questions, contact the Oxford Township Assessor Leanne Bouchy at 248-858-0076.
Also last week, Oxford Chamber of Commerce held their annual State of Community Breakfast via Zoom and announced that restaurants Victoria Connolly and Mike Phipps are this year's Leadership Award recipients. In addition, Oxford Township Supervisor Jack Curtis, Oxford Village Manager Joe Medore, Chamber President and Oxford Police Chief Mike Sowald, County Representative Mike Spiz, MDOT Representative Brian Travis, and State Representative Alessa Slotkin were all invited to give their brief overview of their prospective outlook for this upcoming year. Residents were invited to join the meeting via Zoom.
After holding a virtual town hall meeting last month to garner input from the community on recreational marijuana businesses in the village of Oxford, the council voted 3-2 to extend the prohibition on marijuana establishments until October 31st, 2021. A standing prohibition was set to expire on April 30th, 2021. This current temporary prohibition is meant to buy the village time while it completes the adult use ordinance, which they started working on 2 years ago. Prior to the virtual town hall meeting, a draft of adult use marijuana ordinances would have allowed recreational marijuana businesses into the industrial use district, mostly along Gillespie Street and Industrial Drive. It's worth noting Gillespie Street turns into Oxford Road, which is where the high school is located. During the feedback from the town hall meeting, council agreed the ordinance is not quite ready for approval.
Thanks, Terry. A false COVID alarm was posted to the Michigan coronavirus dashboard last week, incorrectly stating Oxford High School had 2 COVID-19 outbreaks. In a district-wide communication, the community school stated there was an error in reporting at the county level and mistakenly added it to the state K-12 outbreak list. According to the CDC, an outbreak is defined by 2 or more cases who have shared exposure on school grounds and are from different households. The district did report confirmed active cases. As of Friday, February 12th, there were 9 active student cases, 2 at the middle school, 4 at Oxford High School, and 3 at the virtual academy, but all appear to be unrelated to one another, which says it's not an outbreak. There is no evidence of in-school transmissions at the time, according to the district.
Last week, we reported that Birdie's Indoor Golf and Bar temporarily lost their liquor license due to COVID violations. This week, it appears they negotiated a settlement with the Michigan Liquor Control Commission after being ordered a fine of $300 for each of 3 admitted charges for a total fine of $900, along with a 21-day suspension of a C-class license from February 8th until March 1st. If the fine is not paid within 90 days, the judge ordered an additional 45-day suspension and without explanation of the science of it. Last week, Governor Whitmer surprised Michigan restaurant owners by announcing current limits on an indoor dining, and that will remain in place until March 29th. Under the previous order of February 1st, indoor dining reopened with a capacity of 25% and a 10 p.m. curfew. Originally, the order was for 3 weeks and set to expire February 21st. Friday, most restaurant owners were expecting to hear the capacity limit had been increased and were surprised to learn the governor quietly, with no press conference or explanation for the extension.
With the first week of competitions accomplished, both boys and girls bowling teams came out on top, going undefeated in league play, with the girls are 3-0 overall and the boys are 3-1. They dominated the matches in Oakland Athletic Association's Red Division, beating Birmingham Black Hawks, the Clarkston Wolves, and Avondale Yellow Jackets in the girls. Coach J.R. Laffner said the boys knew they were hitting up against some talented teams that needed to step up to keep the OAA title going. They bowled well, but still have some talented teams coming up. Congratulations, Wildcats.
Well, that's it for Oxford News this week. If you'd like to learn more about these stories and others, pick up a copy of the Oxford Leader newspaper or catch CJ Carnacchio on the Charter Township of Oxford Facebook page. Thanks to both CJ and the Oxford Leader for their contribution to our news, and thanks to Alex Honey for manning the cameras and the recording machine. I'm Terry Stiles, and I'm glad to have Alexis with me.
Yeah, glad to be back. And again, I'm Alexis Ware, where we bring your news closer to home.
Welcome to Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and these stories are taken from Automotive News. In our first story, General Motors has officially opened its CTC McLaughlin Advanced Technology track in Oshawa, Ontario, where its engineers can begin testing newly developed vehicle software and technology. The automaker's technical centers in Oshawa and Markham, Ontario develop hardware and software for autonomous systems, active safety systems, and infotainment. The oval-shaped track with 4 lanes allows GM to test that technology with continuous driving at speeds ranging from 37 to 62 miles per hour. General Motors said the new Oshawa track builds on GM's existing vehicle testing presence in Canada. Canada has become the ideal place for GM to expand its engineering work for the future, and the opening of the CTC McLaughlin Advanced Technology track will take that work even further, GM Canada President Scott Bell said in a statement. The track will assist with the development of vehicle motion embedded controls, advanced driver assistance systems, autonomous vehicle systems, infotainment, and other advanced technology. Until now, much of the testing of the software developed in Markham and Oshawa occurs in the United States, mainly at the 4,000-acre Milford Proving Grounds in Michigan. The 2022 Chevrolet Bolt EUV, a utility version of the Bolt, is an example of Canada-made software being part of GM's electric plan. It will be the first Chevy to offer GM's Super Cruise driver assist technology. Canadian teams played an active role in the development and testing of the new Bolt EUV, including Canadian Technical Centre engineers who worked on the Super Cruise system, a first for Canada or Chevrolet, and the cold water durability testing that was done at our Kapuskasing Proving Grounds in Northern Ontario, Bell said in a statement. The Kapuskasing Proving Grounds are a full-scale permanent cold weather test facility that features a 2.2-mile advanced test track and 30 cold cells capable of recreating weather conditions of minus 49 degrees. General Motors in May of 2019 announced it would invest $170 million Canadian to support the transition of operations at Oshawa in turning the factory into an aftermarket plant producing parts while converting 55 acres of the plant property into a test track. Since then, the automaker has committed to once again building full-size pickups at the Oshawa factory, which had ceased vehicle assembly in December of 2019. And on the recall front, Mercedes-Benz USA has recalled over 1 million vehicles for a failure in the eCall system, which has resulted in emergency responders being dispatched to wrong locations, according to National Highway Traffic Safety Administration in a release. The software design of the communication module may result in a failure to send the correct vehicle location for the emergency call system in the event of a crash and increase the risk of injury following the crash, says NHTSA. Mercedes-Benz USA is recalling certain 2016 to 2021 C classes, GLA classes, there's a list of classes, and That would be for the Mercedes-Benz vehicles. Well, that's it for this edition of Auto Talk. I'm Dave Kenny, and we'll be right back. Welcome to Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny, and this story is taken from New Scientist. NASA's newest rover has made it to the surface of Mars. After a journey of nearly 7 months, the Perseverance rover landed on the red planet on February 18th. The success of the landing was by no means a foregone conclusion. Of all the missions to Mars' surface, only about 40% have landed safely. Perseverance is the largest rover ever sent to Mars, which made the landing even more difficult. Its arrival at Jezero Crater was heralded by cheers and audible relief in the mission control room at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena. The spacecraft used a heat shield and then a parachute to slow down from about 20,000 kilometers per hour to less than 4 kilometers per hour. It was then lowered carefully to the surface by a sky crane, similar to the one that was used on the Curiosity rover landing in 2012. The main difference from the Curiosity landing was a new navigation system that took images of the landing area and compared them with maps to pick out a safe spot to touch down. Next, engineers will run health checks on the rover and its instruments before beginning to explore the planet's surface. The rover has 2 main goals: to pick up and stash samples of Martian dust and rocks that will be returned to Earth in a planned 2026 mission, and to search for signs of ancient life. The rover has sent back its first images, and they're incredible. This image was taken from the Sky Crane, a sort of robotic jetpack which used thrusters to slow the rover down after it entered the Martian atmosphere before gently placing it on the ground. No image like this was ever taken before. While the Curiosity rover also used a Sky Crane to land on Mars, that crane didn't have cameras. Once it landed, Perseverance took this picture of its own front right wheel. The rover landed in Jezero Crater, which may have once been a lake bed. The rocks underneath its wheels, which are probably between 3.6 and 3.8 billion years old, may be ancient lake sediments. NASA scientists' first impressions from the image are that they may be volcanic rocks, which require further investigation. The above image shows the desolate landscape in Jezero Crater with a ridge in the distance. It's the highest resolution picture ever taken on the surface of Mars. Soon, Perseverance will set out into the crater and begin exploring. Well, that's it for Science in the News. I'm Dave Kenny.
There's a hidden problem going on right now in our community. This past year has created tremendous financial stress on families. Many are having to make sacrifices they've never had to face before. Some are even going hungry. But there's also something amazing going on behind the scenes. Samaritan House, the Manna Food Pantry, Capax Kitchen, the Oxford Orion Fish Food Pantry, just to name a few. All of these organizations are powered by an army of volunteers, people who give of their time and their money and other resources so that their neighbors, our area families, don't go hungry. And Four County Community Foundation has been there, behind the scenes, granting these organizations money for equipment and supplies to make this happen for many years. But we realize there's more need than ever before. So today, we're announcing a new fund, Feeding Families Forever. This fund is designed to create an everlasting endowment so that organizations in our community have the resources they need to keep doing their incredible work. One hungry mouth, one meal at a time. Now we're asking for your help. If you're ready to step up and help support us and see that no one ever goes hungry in our area, just follow the link provided and let's feed families forever.
For food security.
For our community.
For County.
For County Community Foundation. For us, for our community, for County.